Hello, what's up, everyone? Today I'm going to show you a very rare game where I had not one, but two brilliant moves in the game. And I'm going to be showing you the importance of using the Pawn Storm to basically attack the enemy's fortress. So stay tuned and let's go and analyze this game. So, firstly, I played this very rare game where I had two brilliant moves, but this one I started with a simple Dutch opening. Again, I've always said this is my favorite opening, and because of its double-sided nature, and as you guys know, I love to attack, and this opening gives me a lot of opportunity to attack the opponent's king side. So as you can see, this is a very tricky sideline, but usually you have to be very careful with the castling here because usually they'll go to h4 and try to pawn storm your king side. So it's very important to not castle too early in this situation. So you just want to play normal moves and basically fortify your king side. In this situation, you want to delay castling as much as possible until you are sure that white is going to castle on the same side as you. So as you can see, this is pretty standard move that we go through. And d6. Yeah, so he's not going to storm my king side, so uh, I'm pretty comfortable with castling here. You can also play h6. I can play h6 later on to basically stop the attack if he does attack me. So queen e8. Yeah, it is questionable here, but this is a very standard thematic moves in this opening. Again, in this Dutch opening, as far these two, this is the key, the pawn structure in this opening. Basically, you want to control the pawns the squares here with the F and E pawn, and to basically start your kingside attack. And in this game, I'll show you that how a kingside pawn storm, same side kingside pawn storm can be devastating. So it takes here, which again the engine shows that I'm up by a little bit. Just the normal standard moves here, and here h6 is questionable, but this is well, I'm moving here so that I could start my pawn storm. h6, g4, g5. He takes. I take. There's nothing to worry about here. Queen b3. So here it does. Yeah, the engine doesn't really like this. I can see that it is kind of a the engine can basically calculate everything, but humans, when they get attacked, sometimes they might not be able to defend in the correct manner, and sometimes they panic. So it's always, I believe in putting pressure on your opponent so that they can make mistakes. And this is why I love this opening because it does put the pressure on your opponent that if he makes one slight mistake, if he just play like a normal move and it's reactive instead of being proactive to my plans, he could find himself in trouble. So in this case, I played e4, trying to chase away this knight. Again, in my previous videos, I've always emphasized that how important the knight on f3, f6 is. This is the most important defender in most situations, besides the fianchetto bishop. So you always want to try and chase it away from the square. After you harass this, oh, it's not showing. Ah, there you go. It's showing. Now you play f4 again. Just keep on with the pawn storm. Just like always said again in my videos. Uh, Material doesn't really matter when you are attacking the king or your king is being attacked because basically either you get the job done and basically get a checkmate or a big material advantage out of your attack, or you basically just lose. There's no in between. So again, here he goes for the check. I move away. Again, it's very dubious move, but Anyway, I moved here to basically try and take here and basically open up my files here and bring in more pieces. I want to bring my dark light square bishops into the play. You always want to bring as many attacking pieces as possible, and some of them you end up having to sack in a successful attack most of the time anyway. So here I'm trying to open up this diagonal with these moves, and hopefully he stays here so that I could take. Or even if he moves here, I could bring my queen and threaten this h3 pawn and have a very threatening mate here. Again, so he moved g4, which is a bad mistake, and the engine really doesn't like it. Now, if you guys can see why it's a bad mistake, let me give you like 30 seconds maybe to figure out what's the next move for black. So this is a very bad mistake, a game-changing mistake actually. And then we'll see the power of having the pawn in either one of these squares. Okay, and the move is bishop g4. Boom! What? Look at this. It's a brilliant move. Double exclamation mark, right? So, what is the rationale behind me sacrificing this? So, I want him to take and basically knight takes here. And now my queen can move to the h5 square unimpeded. And because my pawn is here, this square becomes a very little square for my queen for a checkmate. And again, if you look at it at White's defenders, they're far away from the king side, especially the knight. If the knight is here, this attack wouldn't work. If the knight is on the f3 square, but because all White's pieces are away on the queen side, this makes it vulnerable for him because now I could overload on the king side and basically create a devastating attack here. So the game goes with he takes, and of course I'll take here with the knight. Pretty standard, like I said, I want to get this pattern. This is the pretty typical mating pattern for you guys to basically memorize. So look at what's White counterplay. White can't really do anything because all these defenders are on the queen side. So if he tries to, yeah, it's a question of both, and it leads to a mate in 4. Now, if you guys can take a few seconds to basically see the mating combination. Okay, and we'll proceed with Queen h5. Boom! Now we got our second brilliant moves. Two brilliant moves in a game. It's very rare. I almost never get this, you know. So this is why I'm sharing this game because, um, I, it's a rare thing to see that you get two brilliant moves, and I'm always happy when I make a move with a double exclamation mark. So why Queen h5 the brilliant move here? Because there's an unstoppable mating pattern here. Queen can go to h2 and basically create the pattern. Or, as you see, the knight tries to defend this square, but what happens next is queen can come here. Why is this possible? Because of the pawn here. Basically, the light square is inadequately defended by white. Especially the queen is so far away from the defending, so it doesn't really matter. You could take here, take here. It's a waste of time really because uh, if you look at the king, all his defenses are gone, and that's because I started the pawn storm on the king side, which compromised his defense. So that's a very important idea when you're attacking. Sometimes you can't just rely on your minor pieces and major pieces. You have to know how to use the pawns to attack the enemy's king. Even sometimes if it's you're sacrificing your own defenses. Well, this is actually why I love this opening because, like I said, it's very double-edged sword. Now, Queen h3, and he resigns. As you can see, I have the complete control of the square, and the mate is coming next. He could move here, knight h4, and I could take. It doesn't matter. So, what have you learned from this simple game? Basically, one, the importance of using the pawn sometimes to basically weaken the enemy's defenses around him. Basically, in this case, I weakened the two pawns in front of him by moving up my pawns. Two, the idea of sacrifice. I sacrificed my bishop here because I had an overload of pieces on the king side, and he does not have enough defenders. So you have to remember that because I've chased away the key defender, the knight, on the f3 square. I am able to overload on the king side and create this devastating mating attack. And again, the important thing is that good a successful attack always comes from a superior position. So you always want to build your position and to have basically a superior position against your opponent. A good tactic does not comes from nowhere. You have to first build it up. It's just if you learn jujitsu or something, your coaches will always teach you to the importance of position before submissions. So it's the same concept in chess. Before you can create a devastating successful attack on the enemy's king, you need to have a superior positional advantage. So yeah, I just want to share this little game. Hopefully you learn something from this. And I'm hoping to. I have a tournament tomorrow, and I'm quite excited for it. Hopefully, I do well for it. But yeah, so click on the like and subscribe if you like my content, and see you next time.